Hey folks, it's Mad Rabbit back in World of Warcraft. Today I'm showing you some footage. This is kind of a continuation from my previous World of Warcraft video, in which I showed you, I kind of made it more like a tutorial thing of how to get past the first boss encounter. And was it Blackwing Lair? Yeah, so, and for a number of years I think a lot of people were under the impression that it's more of a two-man or plus situation where it's difficult to solo it or something. And I showed you footage of the hunter. There's a little glitch in which the hunter can get past that. So go watch the previous video. I'm going to show you some footage of the rest of my attempt at Blackwing Lair, soloing with that hunter. Oh, and I forgot to mention the last episode that my understanding is goblins also have the same ability to be able to jump over to that ledge. If you watched the last video, yeah. So I think that probably has something to do with the rocket boost. I'm wondering also whether there might be some engineering gadget or something, but I don't know for sure. Maybe that will allow you to do that also. I don't know quite if mages can do it because um, I don't think that one ability they have where they spring. I forget the darn name of the ability now. I don't think it arcs, and I think it needs to arc kind of like the disengage does for the hunter. So yeah, go watch that video, and I think um, it's pretty neat because I hear there's a lot of really cool transmog stuff in Blackwing Lair, particularly for the hunter. So it's not a bad little thing to maybe attempt a solo once a week if you can get it down. Some of the boss encounters in here, and even just the trash encounters, were a little tough, as you'll see in some of my footage. I obviously sped it up, and I'm not going to do too much commentary over it. One boss I actually did skip on the dragons. It was just a little too much for me. I couldn't do, but at least it was skippable. And then what ends up getting me at the end of this particular one is the second to last boss. And so I obviously do fail. But the second to last boss, my understanding is there are strategies out there in which you can get by these bosses and beat them all. Basically, I mean, it's not impossible to solo, and once you get used to it, and this is sort of where what I was saying last episode, where I was sort of I'm a mediocre hunter. I'm not like a phenom that came up with some of these solo strategies. So yeah, I basically got all that from other people and whatnot, and I think it's more like I think if you're a really good hunter, you can probably solo it, and maybe even a mediocre one like myself could if I ever learned the strategy for it. So you could go check Wowhead for the strategies, and there are videos out there that kind of go over that. I'm not going to go into it here. Like I said, I just tried it once. That was my first attempt, and so I failed in the second to last boss. I think that's Chromagus or something like that. He is like a tameable hunter pet, this particular boss. So what I might do is I might go back and attempt to tame him. Not that I really want him all that much. Just want to see. My understanding is some people are saying you can get by him just by taming him as a hunter, but he's kind of difficult to tame, mainly because of all these different debuffs he throws on you. And there are ways around at least some of them. There's one alchemy formula that will get you by some of it. There are some drops in here, some kind of a special sand that'll get rid of the one that stuns you. And also I think in Blackrock Spire, where you encounter the spiders, I think it must be lower Blackrock Spire, they drop some kind of special ink sac that gets rid of the thing that damages you. So I guess if you really are serious about soloing this place, you actually want to run the lower Blackrock Spire, I think, where those spiders are, and get those, because it'll make that encounter much easier. And also remember to use the sands that drop from the trash in right here in Blackwing Lair. I forgot the darn name of the alchemy formula that'll get rid of some of the other ones, but you don't necessarily need it. So I mean, I don't know. It's kind of up to you. It's a much more difficult to solo raid than say Molten Core, which I did last week. I did Molten Core, pretty much all my people, just to see if I could do it with them. I had more difficulties with some classes than others, but yeah, I really mainly just to get just trying to find transmog stuff I don't have, just to have it in storage and whatnot. And it'd always be nice to get at least maybe my main character or somebody um, maxed out with the reputation there, just since things are going to become account bound. That's a horribly long grind, so I don't really know if I'm really serious about the reputation grinds in these raids, but it'd be nice to do that, I guess. At any rate, we were about halfway through our footage here. So this boss here didn't give me much problems. The one right after the area where there's all the slowing gas or whatever. I'm not going to actually directly talk about this too much anymore. Actually, I'll just let you watch the footage. I want to talk about that they just announced this past week, and it's that Mists of Pandaria is going to be released, which is pretty cool. There's obviously going to be some sort of an event happening. I think it might have something to do with what they've been saying about the destruction of Theramore. The Horde's supposed to destroy Theramore, I guess, and that might have something to do with the starter events, which we'll assume maybe is going to be a week or 2 or 3 before the release of the expansion. But it's going to be September, I think, 25th. Let me check my calendar. 25th. So that should be good. I already bought mine. Obviously, if you go to battle.net, it's there on the front splash page. Whether you get the collector's edition or regular. I got regular. I didn't quite like the mounts. I would have liked to have gotten the deluxe collector's edition only for the soundtrack. I really like soundtracks for games and stuff. And really, it's difficult getting those things sometimes out of the box. Like afterwards, you have to go to eBay and they jack up the prices and all that, which I hate. But honestly, I was hoping for something like that, but I couldn't justify it. I think that one is a little more. They weren't actually advertising on the front page. Even it was like what was it, $69.99 or $79.99? It's a lot of money. Whatever it was a lot. I couldn't justify that. So at any rate, yeah, I'm looking forward to the expansion. I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff in this, and it's definitely going to be a breath of fresh air from Cataclysm, which kind of bored me. I couldn't bring myself to do the heroic dungeons, particularly those troll ones. I ran them once. I ran one of them once on my main character. I got so frustrated. Maybe after a few encounters, I just said, forget this." So I did not run heroics. I basically skipped the whole heroic thing, and went to the hour twilight heroics, because you could just grind in the normals for justice points to get that higher level. Was it 378 gear? And you just buy your parts with 378. So when that came in, I did start doing that, and I didn't find them nearly as difficult. I did find some of them a little difficult in some areas, but I mean, I find them easier to pick up. I couldn't do the troll ones. I just said forget it. Maybe I'll go back and do it with an overpowered group next expansion or something, just to get the achievement or whatever. But yeah, just I really, the first whole year worth of Cataclysm, I didn't really run much in the way of dungeons, and I really didn't start doing many until that patch where those came out, the heroic hour twilights and transmogging and all that. Yeah, so I guess I'm looking forward to this. I'll be honest with you, I've been looking at MMO Champion, a website called MMO Champion, which posts data mines a lot of the material in the beta, shows a lot of the all kind of different items you're gonna get, and well, anyway, it provides a lot of good information. Um, so I went there, and I've been keeping up on what changes that are going to be happening, and I'm not a big fan. These are the only points in which I'm not too happy with Pandaria. I mean, I like everything. I like the pet battles. I think that really is going to get people out and going and do things. And if you don't like it, you can skip it. There's so much to do in this expansion. You know, I mean, if you didn't want to do that, you can always skip it. But the thing is, I'm going to probably do it. I really like the whole idea of the pet battles thing. So the thing is, I'm gonna probably do a lot with the pet battles first. I might start with my main character. I want to go through every solitary quest in Pandaria with my main character and just relax and take my time doing it with her. The rogue, that's sort of my main character. And I'm not going to really get to touch the dungeons this time around, at least until later on. Again, I'm sure that always ends up angering people when you get in there and you're a noob to a dungeon, but you know, that's the way it is in this horrible, awful community in World of Warcraft, sadly. So I'll be one of these people that kind of joins in on the mindless dungeon grind later on. I'm still debating whether I'm going to do a lot of the dailies. They have a lot of factions, a lot of dailies, very heavy on that in this expansion. But they're removing the limit to how many dailies you can do. I don't know if that's good or bad, because it's still going to get boring after a while. It's still going to feel like a job. And so to me, that's one of the things I don't like about this expansion. And another thing is, I've looked at like all the suits, the different tier stuff, the greens. I'm not even the challenge mode items, the suits of things you can collect, and I'm not liking them. For transmogging purposes, is what I'm saying here. I really don't like them. I mean, I don't understand. It's just I like the architecture and the look and the feel of Asian cultures, and I probably lean more towards favoring maybe Japanese. I know there was one or two sets that sort of did actually look a little bit like a samurai suit, but it really just didn't appeal to me much for the characters I have in the game currently. So I really don't think a lot. I will be doing much in the way of looking for gear for transmogs and whatnot. So in this expansion. But I got more to talk about on Mists of Pandaria, guys, and since I'm out of footage here, I picked up a couple nice items here, as you can see, in this run. And I'll have some more footage soon, guys, on different things, and we'll talk more about Mists of Pandaria as we get closer. So catch you next time. Matter of signing off. Adios.